Today on day 4 of What Is It Like to Eat at Deep South, we're talking about eggs. Our hens are laying 8 to 13 eggs a day, and later they'll start laying even more because we have quite a supply of hens. We use eggs in lots and lots of different ways: omelets, scrambled, fried, you name it. We boil them, add them to desserts. There's no telling. There's just lots of ways to eat eggs. But today, Danny has his over easy. Then I have mine fried with some grits. We have our deer sausage. I have toast along with my mayhaw jelly. He has a few pecans, a glass of water for him, and of course, as always, a cup of coffee with honey for me. Today we're going to talk about vacuum sealing jars. These are yellow grits that we vacuum sealed. They're organic. As you can see, the flour, I believe it's rice flour that we have here. It's a lot easier to vacuum seal these jars than to put it in Mylar bags and put it into storage in 5-gallon buckets. It's easier to open 1 quart. We have red beans. We have a mixture of multiple beans, banana chips. Then I dehydrated English peas and potatoes. They are not vacuum sealed in the English peas and potatoes, but then, doesn't need to be. Here we have oatmeal, rice, and vegetables. The mixed vegetables we did when Scratch Made Homestead was here. We used her Excalibur and it did an awesome job. We have enough of the vegetables to last a long time in soup. We had grits this morning, so I wanted to show you. This is Danny corn. We run it through the grinder and we end up with cornmeal. This is our hand grinder. We end up with cornmeal and grits. The first time you run it through, you sift out what meal is there, and you can run it through several times, and you end up with grits, which is almost sand-like particles, and then the thinner, smaller particles will be your cornmeal. We also use this to feed animals and to sell seeds. We also sell some of the Danny corn to people that want to grow it next year. Danny also has his stash that he will plant this year in order for us to continue the process and have more grits, cornmeal, chicken feed. All this comes from Danny corn.
Stop for a minute and take a break. It's funny, we started off this morning, it was 35 degrees. And it is, oh gosh, it's 10 o'clock and it's already up to like 60 degrees. It's amazing. I mean, that's why we got to get stuff planted down here as early as we do. But anyway, I got to take a break. I got my pecan cookies and the blonde brownies that Wanda makes for me here. We'll eat a little bit of this, and we got our ice cold water in this Conago system here that was a gift from a subscriber, and we really appreciate these things because this kind of helps us out about water whenever we need it. And this is Wanda's over here. She's got the purple one. It was a gift to her also by the same sub. And she likes her granola bars for her little picker-uppers, and that's what she has for her break. Okay guys, we're here. These are some of our canned fingerling potatoes that we took out of the jar. Canned in January, February, March, April, May of 2016. What we've done, we put them in here. We put us some pepper and some rosemary and some olive oil. We're going to just sit here and kind of toss them around in there a little bit and heat them up real good. And things are really good to eat that way. I'm going to brown them a little bit there because they're already done being processed and canned. We save our plastic containers from seasonings and stuff. And what it is, this particular one, we raise a lot of our own herbs. So we take our rosemary, we pick it off the plant, we bring it in, we dry it, dehydrate it, and then we put it in the grinders and we process it into a powder form that we can use whenever we're cooking. So you can see this one was done in July of 2016. It makes it a lot simpler when you have your own homegrown herbs.
And today I'm going to have a couple of wraps to go with my potatoes. This is some ham that we bought right after Christmas. They marked down a whole ham, and Danny sliced it. As you can see, it's pretty thin. I'm going to put it in a skillet and heat it real well and add it to a flour tortilla wrap. Lunch today, basically hamburger patties for Danny left over from yesterday. We did the fingerling potatoes. I put some dill relish on his plate and some Marconi peppers and the ketchup. He's drinking water, I'm drinking water. I did wraps today. I keep a few flour tortillas. We also make some of our own tortillas using gluten-free flour. We just haven't made any lately, but these are some that I bought. The ham I bought, the dill relish, and I have the Marconis from the greenhouse, the ranch dressing, and potatoes. Danny just came in and brought a sack of our sweet potatoes. We are still eating sweet potatoes. We've planted quite a few, canned a few, and we're eating them every day either as French fries that we bake, or we bake the whole potato and eat them. We make desserts with them. Sweet potato is just a good overall item to have. I even dehydrated some. Tonight we're having deer steaks. These are the steaks off the back strap that Danny cut when he processed our deer. We take those and lay out a piece of plastic wrap and have the steaks in between 2 sheets of plastic wrap. I put them on this cutting board. We take this mallet and we take and hammer it out real thin. That tenderizes it even more. These back straps could be cooked as is. They're not tough at all, but we like them really, really thin. That way it takes about 2 to 3 minutes on each side and they're done. We coat these in pecan meal when we have it. If we don't, we coat it in some gluten-free flour. You could coat it in cornmeal. It's just according to your preference, but this is one of the things that we will be having. This was harvested here on our place. Tonight I'm coating the deer in pecan meal and cooking it in coconut oil. We have a baked sweet potato, butter beans, boiled okra, and of course our deer meat.